religious conversions and infiltration from outside India. Who are the affected parties here also? The conversion that is taking place in India is only of Hindus into Christianity. No other conversion is taking place. If there is any other conversion, government will intervene. Example, some 1 year ago or 2 years ago, the chief rabbi of Israel came to India. And he told the press that they had received a letter from Mizoram and they had researched the matter and came to the conclusion that one of the lost tribes of the Jews was settled in Mizoram. So he's going there. So he went there and the Mizo said, all our practices are Jewish, we are matrilineal, all the Jewish practices. We celebrate Hanukkah, Passover. But when the British came here, they forced us to become Christians. So now we want to become Jews. So the chief rabbi went back to Israel, brought a big delegation, and decided to go and perform a ceremony to convert them all into Judaism. The Prime Minister personally ordered, Mr. Manmohan Singh, ordered the visa of all these people to be cancelled and wrote a letter to the Prime Minister of Israel that government of India does not approve of these conversion activities. What he meant is we do not approve of conversion activities of Christians into other religions. So here is an undeniable fact that you have all kinds of third-rate people coming from the Western countries to make us Christians. You have Benny Hinn, who came to Bangalore. He had a huge rally where in the Air Force grounds, which is not given to Janata Party, is not given to BJP, it is not given to any party, even Congress Party doesn't get it. But the Congress government of Karnataka gave that to him and he organized this huge crowd. And he made people climb upstairs. Somebody, cancer patient, puts his hand, hallelujah, Jesus Christ, cured. He walks away. Then a cripple comes, puts his hand, cured. He starts walking like a normal human being. Later on, the Bangalore police said all this crowd and these people, they are all come not from Karnataka, but they have come from Tamil Nadu. Been brought by trucks, and they were given training how a cancer patient should behave, how a cripple should behave, and so on. They were given money, and Benny Hinn then went to Delhi, had an audience with Sonia Gandhi, and went back. And the Trinity Foundation, which is a Christian organization here, has in its website, which you can access through google.com by typing Benny Hinn, H-I-N-N, and they have accused him of fraud, cheating, IRS investigations being launched. This is the man who's coming. During tsunami, some Paul came with jumbo jets. Said there are only two people with jumbo jets in the world. One is George Bush and the other is myself. And he wanted to convert all the tsunami victims. He's now under investigation. So all kinds of riffraffs are coming, and the target is Hindu. We may say, foreign missionaries should come, foreigners should not come and do all this, but that's the fact that the target is Hindu. If any other religion conversion takes place, there's so much halabulla. Take what is happening to this Taslima Nazareen. Today I saw on the internet that the mullahs of Hyderabad have said 1 lakh rupees for anyone who kills her. Till yesterday they were saying blinding her face, but today they have now declared killing her. Otherwise she must leave the country. So anybody who talks a little about reform in Islam, they give this statement. So I have no doubt in my mind that again conversion is one dimension of the siege. What happened in Bangladesh? Hindus were 32% of Bangladesh. Today 7%. What has happened to them? Killed, converted or driven to India. So here again you find wherever you go in the world, Hindus are being targeted. In this country also textbooks are being written, which all kinds of filthy things are being said. Our people are fighting it, they're going to court and all that. Why is it that this is being said? They don't say, some of the textbooks had incorrect statements about Islam and Judaism. They wrote a letter to the Board of Education, all corrected. But Hindus have to go to the court, even then it couldn't be corrected. So therefore, there seems to be some international purpose. There was in Dallas about 2 years ago a conference of all Christian organizations which said that the world in Europe we are losing Christians, so we must make up by converting in Asia. And India, Pat Robertson said, we should convert at least 10 crores of the 100 crores Indians. Money no object. And that is why you are finding this. Then we have something which you don't have for any other religion, and that is the rubbishing of our religious icons. Shankaracharya has been put in jail. He was on Diwali in Andhra, and the Tamil Nadu police went there. Midnight they picked him up, drove all the way. They brought him by special plane till Madras, then drove all the way to Kanchipuram. At 4 a.m. they present him before the magistrate, who was woken up, and remanded like a common criminal to the Vellore jail. He will say, this is law taking its own course, why are you interfering? I am not interfering. You file as many cases you want. But you must use the law not against the Shankaracharya. Sheikh Abdullah was arrested for being an anti-national. Was he put in jail? Was he arrested at midnight? He was put in the best guest house you could think of in Kodaikanal. Nice cool place. Maharaji Desai was put in jail in the emergency. He was kept in Dal Bungalow. So therefore, why Shankaracharya was put in jail with the criminals? To humiliate him. The Dwarka Shankaracharya Jr., he got on a plane in Bombay, and the pilot said, no, you please get off. He came to seat and said, you get off, because you are carrying this dand, and that is a terrorist weapon, so you might hijack the plane. How can you hijack a plane with a wooden dand, not dand, and Shankaracharya can't leave the dand, so he got off. We have one cartoon putting Muhammad in a bad light, riots everywhere. Prime Minister cancels the visit of the Danish Foreign Minister to India, writes a letter to the Danish government saying, this we don't approve. On behalf of 130 million Muslims, I am protesting. But the Shankaracharya is being put in jail. No protest. So where is this going? Hindu temples are subject to law. You say secularism. Government will not interfere in any religion. Then why have you got Hindu Religious Temples and Charitable Trust Act? The government appoints an officer there. He then takes away the resources for the government. Only 6% is spent on the temple. 94% is spent on Hajj subsidy. Of course, by the way, only Hajj gets subsidy. Go to Kailash Mansarovar, you will not get subsidy. Hajj will get, you travel, subsidy. Building mosques, renovating churches. Government is giving money. Out of what? The hundi money of the temples. We are challenging it now. We will, although the act was passed during Nehru's period, but it is now getting more and more troublesome. In Tirupati, suddenly under the act, the Chief Minister said that there are 7 hills of Balaji. Why 7? You should only have 4. 3 will belong to the state. And 1 will be a gambling casino, another will be a church, and 3rd will be a tourist spot. Fortunately, all the sadhus, led by Dayanand Saraswati, they went to Hyderabad, did big demonstration. the chief minister escaped and came to address some Telugu conference in Chicago. All the NRIs did big demonstration, it was all over TV, and he got rattled. He went back and he issued a new GO that all 7 hills of the Tirupati area belong to the Balaji temple, and henceforth no Christian can distribute the literature. So a little protest, people fall in line. So will come to this major question again, but at the moment let me ask you, has not the government of India decided to demolish the Rama Setu? All 83% Hindus are taught that Rama went to Rameshwaram, wanted to cross, could not cross, so he blessed Hanuman, whose brother Nala was an architect, and they devised they brought coral stones and put them there. In Ramayana it also says that coral stones, when Hanuman put it first, it started floating, and Hanuman came and said to Rama, how can I build a bridge with these rocks are floating? So then Rama wrote on each of them Rama, and therefore the things out. Today if you go and unloosen any of the corals, they will float. I've seen it myself. So here is an accurate description. The NASA took a photo and showed that there is such a formation. Anybody can see it. If you go there, you can see it. But we wanted NASA to give the chop, and so NASA's photograph. Now there is a new controversy. No, this is not man-made. This is natural. So what? Grand Canyon is natural, so you can demolish it. Amarnath caves, you have Shivalinga, which is, by ice, water dripping and forming. So you want to worship it because it is natural made. It is held sacred by us. I went to the Madras High Court and argued. There was a very good judge from Gujarat called Shah, very, very sound judge. I told him that this is sacred because everyone else thinks it is sacred. Doesn't matter if it is natural or not natural. And I said from childhood we have all been taught Rama Setu, Setu Banda. And I said, I'm sure you are also being taught. He said, yes, I also was taught the same thing. So, but the government of India decided that they will have to build a dredge canal, and that canal must go through the Setu by breaking the Setu. So many people said, they say, after all, economic development has to take place, you can't have this, Setu is in the way, otherwise people have to go around Sri Lanka. They can't go from Kanyakumari to Madras because Park Strait is too narrow, shallow, so we have to dredge, and when you dredge you have the Setu in the way, so cut it. This is a false argument because right from 1956 there have been many authorities who have examined this question. And you see, when you take the coastline of India, you have the Indian land and then a small island juts out. That is called Rameshwaram Island. So Rameshwaram, Pamban, and then Pamban, Rameshwaram, and Dhanushkodi. Dhanushkodi is the last point. After that, the Rama Setu starts. So why not cut the canal through the land area of Rameshwaram Island? It is cheaper because cutting through land is always cheaper. You cut through all the ocean, Park Strait, but when you come to near this Rama Setu thing, instead of going this way, you shift it and go through the land. You can have the canal and you can save Rama Setu. So 5 authorities from 56, 61, so on, right up till 1998 said Rama Setu should not be touched and an alternative route should be chosen. But this government decided, no, we will go through Rama Setu. So I argued in court that you see, first of all it is cheaper to have an alternate route. 5 authorities in the past have suggested alternative routes. Why is this government insisting on it? Because Mr. Karunanidhi is anti-Ram. He has rubbished Ramayana. He is a biased person. He said that all these Aryans are Brahmins and Brahmins are Aryans, and we Dravidians are separate people. And therefore, we have to teach them a lesson. And Rama is the symbol of the Aryans, and we will not have it. Poor Ravan, he was a good man. He didn't trouble Sita, but because Surpanaka, he had to take revenge. And Ravan, because he was a Dravidian, these people are all against him. So, I then told the court.
And poor Rama was a Kshatriya.
That's right. And I said that Ravan was a Pandit. This fool Karnanidhi doesn't know our history because the Englishman taught him and he is acting on that. And there is no Aryan or Dravidian. Arya is there, means gentleman. In Tamil we have the word Ayya. Dravida is a word used first by Adi Shankara. He took two words, throw and with, and combined them. And so when he went to Varanasi to challenge Mandana Mishra to a debate, Mandana Mishra asked him, who are you? He said, I am Dravida Shishu. And then he explained where the three oceans meet. That is the area I come from. And it's got nothing to do with the race at all. It is a purely regional concept. And this man is made into a separate country, and Aryans is a separate country, and I borrowed the Englishman's version of our history. And I myself one day asked Karnanidhi, how can you say that Dravid is a Tamil word? It is a Sanskrit word. He said, no, this is all, Aryans are Brahmins and we Dravids are non-Brahmins. So I said, then how our cricket captain Rahul Dravid he's a Brahmin, Rahul Dravid, he's his father, mother are Brahmins.
Karunanidhi name itself?
And Karunanidhi has a Sanskrit name. His party's, his election symbol is called Chinnam. In Sanskrit it is Chin. And what is it? The rising sun, in Tamil it is called Udayan, Suryan. That is all Sanskrit words. In fact, Tamil has 40% Sanskrit words. Of course, one day Karunanidhi also told me that Sanskrit stole it from Tamil. So I said, alright, but at least it's common. That is important. So anyway, I am saying basically the bias is there. And that's why they are insisting. We are fighting it, we will win it. Nobody can touch Rama Setu. I'm telling you. In fact, the first dredger which went to break Rama Setu, broke into two and sunk into the sea. Then a crane went to pick up the dredger. That also broke. So the government of India brought a Russian engineer to find out what is happening, and his leg broke. He had to go back. Then Karunanidhi came to Rameshwaram and looked around, what is the problem, and he talked to everybody. He went back and his family broke into two, Maran out and he out. I told Karunanidhi, once more you try, your head will break. So therefore, Lord is there, He will protect it, but we are also fighting in court. Lord can only help if we stand up to fight for the Lord. And therefore, I want to tell you this concept that all our religious icons are being rubbished, and it's only Hindu icons who are being rubbished, no other. Our governments, many state governments banned Da Vinci Code. They say freedom of expression, why not that? Freedom of expression for Hussain, M.F. Hussain, but not for Dan Brown.
Salman Rushdie's book was banned.
Salman Rushdie's book is being banned. So this standard is not double only, it is targeted against Hindus. And the question arises why? And that is what I'll come to in a minute. But let me say about the caste system. Now the DNA analysis shows that we are all the same people. Whether it is this caste or that caste. Caste itself has no relationship with birth. Originally, Bhrigu and Bhardwaja, two rishis, sat and debated how the society should be organized. And Bhrigu said that there are four sources of power: knowledge, weapons, wealth, and land. And there should be no concentration of power, so they should all be distributed. So if you are pursuing knowledge, which the Brahmins are supposed to, then you must not have wealth, you must not have weapons, you must not have land, and you must ask dakshina for your survival. Every evening the Brahmins will go out with the chadar and ask for food, and it will be a privilege of society to give that. Kshatriyas will have weapons, they will be kings, but they can't make policy. Policy has to be with those with knowledge. That's how it was originally conceived. Scheduled castes or Dalits or untouchables are those who committed heinous social crimes, but their children are not necessarily scheduled castes. That is why Valmiki was the son of untouchables, but he became Maharishi. He wrote the Ramayana. Similarly, Vedavyasa was the son of a fisherwoman, backward caste, wrote the Mahabharata. Kalidasa was a hunter, Adivasi, became our greatest poet and Maharishi. Vishwamitra was the Rishi of Rishis. He is a Kshatriya. At least his parents were Kshatriya. All our gods are Kshatriyas. Only Ravan was a Brahmin, but all Rama was a Kshatriya and Krishna was a Yadava, like that. So, caste had no relationship with birth, and now the DNA shows it is not based on any classification. So the original idea of Bhrigu was decentralization of power, devolution of power, and that has got destroyed because we are connected with birth. And therefore, slowly we should go out. I am very happy in India, slowly that recognition is coming, because in Uttar Pradesh the Brahmins and the Dalits combined and got political power. Not that the Dalits supported the Brahmins to become Chief Minister, but the Brahmins supported the Dalits to make a woman Dalit as Chief Minister. So this melting process has started. Very happy it should be furthered, and we should slowly forget about castes. And if at all we want to remember caste, it should be only that if you are going to pursue knowledge, you should not chase money. And if you're going to be a rich person, you cannot have power, political power, or you cannot be teacher. So in a country, in a family, there can be people of different castes because they are pursuing different lines. People ask me, how is it that this siege has taken place? We are 83% in India. How can there be all this going on? Why are we tolerating it? What is wrong with us? Well, I say you go to a circus, you'll see a ringmaster inside a cage, and there will be 5 lions, and he'll crack the whip, and the lions will say, but they will climb up. Why the lions don't pounce on that ringmaster and kill him? They can. Or a tiger goes into a forest, there are 1,000 cows and buffaloes with their horns and their deers. They see the tiger, one tiger, they all start running. Why thousands are running against for one? That's called mind. The mindset is responsible. What is the mindset of the Hindu today? I go to temple, I do puja, I celebrate Diwali, I'm a good Hindu. That's not good enough. He must be more. Yes, you must go to temples. Yes, in fact, India now, temples are all getting very crowded. So many people are coming. You must celebrate Diwali, you must do pujas, all that fine. But you must do more. What more? That is what I am coming to now. All our people who are tormenting us within our country are also happen to be Hindus. Why? Because they are politicians, they want votes. Hindus do not vote as Hindus. Muslims vote as Muslims, Christians vote as Christians, and if they vote as one, they can make a difference between winning and losing. Muslims 12%, 13%, Christians 2-3%, 16% is a solid base. And that is why they do it. And then if they can get one more caste, Yadavas or something, done. In UP, of course, Mayawati has created a new consolidation, and this pattern may start a new politics in India, I can't say. But I would say, if you want at least a neutral to Hindu government, a genuinely secular government, Hindus must decide to become united and vote as Hindus. They should not vote for a corrupt person or a bad person, but a person who follows some Hindu agenda. What is that Hindu agenda? How do you develop a mindset as a Hindu? People say, what is Hinduism itself? Hinduism is many things. We have 330 million gods. It's like a cafeteria. You can select which god you want, at what time. We have a variety of scriptures. There is no prophet in our Hindu religion. There are only the Sanatana Dharma means accumulated experience. And these are divided into two, the Shruti and the Smriti. So, but there are some basic concepts that Hindus have which nobody else has. Anyone can see God. No other religion says that. Islam, you have to die and go up, and if you die for the cause, then of course you get many goodies there. I don't want to tell you what those goodies are. And in Christianity also, you have to be a chosen one to be able to go to heaven. But you cannot see God in this life. Hindu religion, the only religion, says if you practice this discipline, not everybody can see, but you have to practice discipline. You want to eat meat, you can eat meat. You want to drink, you can drink. If you want to have 2 wives or 3 wives, you can have 3 wives. But if you want to be Shresht and near God, then you should be vegetarian. And you should be faithful to your wife. This is the kind of thing. There is no hard and fast rules. It is just said, if you want this, then you have to do this. So that discipline, if you follow and do tapasya, you will see God. So there are the religions. Second, we say, all religions lead to God. We don't say all religions are equal. This is wrong. Some people think Hinduism means that all religions are equal. No. Ours is turnpike, while the others are highways and country roads. You go slower. You want to go fast, without much problem, then Hinduism is the best way. So there are many basic concepts of Hinduism which no other religion has. The law of karma says that you can do pujas, havans and all that and get your reward a little earlier. But God has said very clearly, freedom of choice only in action. You can take any action you want. How you will get your reward, I decide. And I will balance everything. So you may work very hard in your work and you may get a lousy job, but you may have a wonderful wife at home. Or you may have a wonderful work, a wonderful job and a lousy wife at home. Or other way around, there's no gender bias in there. A wife may have a lousy husband and a wonderful job. So, that balancing is there. No one's life is all heaven. There are some balances because there are karmas which you have done which are not good. Some of them have been carried over. So this philosophy today is being taught to American executives because, according to Business Week, because this reduces tension. Why Americans are doing yoga, going to our Swamijis? Because despite all their prosperity, they don't have mental peace. So the Hindu religion teaches you, when they say way of life, that doesn't mean we are just anybody can do anything. There are certain disciplines and it teaches you how to enjoy life, how to be a happy person, no matter where you are, no matter what difficulties you are. That is a separate question altogether. But today I am talking to you as if meeting the siege that Hindus are under. how do you respond? How do you respond to terrorism, this conversion, this debasement, this lack of care of the government for Hindus anywhere, ill-treating or rather targeting Hindus in laws passed, etc. For what that we need a mindset. And what is that mindset? That's the thing that I want to tell you most of all. First and foremost, we must be clear about our identity. We are Indians means what? Was it 1947 that we became an Indian? Or it is the British who made us Indians? That the British have been propagating, we have 450 million kingdoms and we came and we gave it order, we created modern structures. All rubbish. We are an ancient nation. Ancient nation means, how ancient? From time immemorial. We are a Hindu nation. Then what happens to the Christians and Muslims? Where do they belong? We are a nation of Hindus. This is what Chinmayananda taught me. We are a nation of Hindus and those others who proudly acknowledge that their ancestors are Hindus. If you are a Muslim, no problem, you can be Muslim. But you have to acknowledge that your ancestors are Hindus. And they are. 99.9% of the Muslims are people who can trace their ancestry. They can say who their grandfathers. M.J. Akbar, editor of Asian Age, has written an article in which he's written a book called Blood Brothers, where he says, I'm proud to say that my grandfather was a Rajput. There are many who are there. We must encourage this trend. If you say that your ancestor is Gori or Ghazni, then you don't belong in India. You go to Pakistan. See? You must accept. And therefore, even if your religion changes, your culture does not change. You are a Hindu. And outside the world, when these Muslims go to Hajj, they are called Hindu. China even today calls us Hindu Rashtra. Hindu. Hindu is the way they call India. They can't pronounce H, so they say Hindu. So, our identity is very clear. We have to defend an identity. We are Hindustan, a nation of Hindus, and all others who acknowledge that their ancestors are Hindus. And therefore, everybody is connected to our past. Hindus, Muslims, Christians, everybody gets connected to our past. Second thing I want to say is that we need now to develop a common language where you can speak to each other from different regions. For the time being, Hindi is doing its work. 70% understand Hindi, whether you go to Assam, you go to Srinagar, or you go to Gujarat, or you come to Karnataka and Raichur, or Bijapur, or you go to Hyderabad. Almost everybody understands Hindi. There are small pockets like Tamil Nadu, parts of Karnataka, the old Mysore Karnataka, and parts of Kerala, where people don't understand Hindi. But still Hindi is a more difficult language to learn because you have to learn new vocabulary. Persian is there, Urdu is there, so many vocabularies are there. Therefore, what is that language which is common, which has common vocabulary with all Indian languages? That is Sanskrit. Gujarati has 60% Sanskrit words, Malayalam has 80%, Bengali has 75%, Tamil has 40%. So we have common words throughout, in all the languages. So vocabulary already an advantage. Second, now the NASA journal called Artificial Intelligence, which is now the most advanced field where how to store knowledge in the computer. A man learns so much and then he dies and then knowledge dies with him. So before his death he should be able to sit before a computer and tell all that he knows, and the computer should then collate this and put it all together. That field is called artificial intelligence. And the question was in what language we should store the knowledge. And they said English is too imperfect, PUT put and CUT cut and so on, different pronunciations, different meanings, double meaning. So we need something which is precise. And they came to the conclusion, Sanskrit is the language. And it is published in the journal. And that is why Bush has now made a special law that any university teaching Sanskrit will be given extra funds. And you, like yoga is now adopted by all Americans, soon Sanskrit will be speaking and we will be wondering, we will be speaking American twang, but they will be speaking Sanskrit. So I said to NRIs, they asked me, what can we do from here? I said, first you start by either you learning, or you making your children learning, or your grandchildren learning Sanskrit. There are simple programs nowadays. There are cassettes, diskettes, so many things. Make everybody learn Sanskrit. Sanskrit is a vehicle to connect you. Devanagari is a script which is an additional script. All our scripts in India are descended from Brahmi, and they have the same universal principle. Take a Tamil word for ka, it is like that. And you want to say ki, you put a matra. In Hindi also it is ka and matra. Gujarati is also the same. Bengali is also the same. The principle uniting all our languages, if you once educate people how to see it, is the same. So Sanskrit is number 2. First is, I am Hindustani, which means that everybody is either a Hindu or his ancestors are Hindus. 2, I can, or at least my family can, somebody in my family can speak in Sanskrit. Of course now the vocabulary of Hindi is also getting more and more Sanskrit, and there was a time when Sanskrit had disappeared and Pali had come. And then Adi Shankara came, he said, no, don't displace Pali, just Sanskrit the words. So the words of Pali became more and more Sanskrit, and ultimately Pali became Sanskrit again. And then Sanskrit came back. So therefore the same way today, Hindi may also be parallelly developed. Every country, every state should now have its own script and another additional script, Devanagari. Third thing which you must learn is the correct history of India. I find many people saying, we Hindus, we have always been beaten. Somebody has come from abroad and has ruled us. That's not true. We are the only ones who fought. People who came from abroad, maybe we didn't successfully throw them out, but we never surrendered. Look at what happened to Iran. It was a Zoroastrian country. The Parsis were ruling. The Muslims came, within 7 years they made them 100% Muslim. Whole of Middle East became Muslims after 7-8 years. Europe, Christian, 100% Christian. For some time it was Muslim, then the Christians made it all 100% Christian. India was the only country after 1,000 years of beating. Even then, undivided India was 75% Hindu. There is no other parallel. And many Muslim writers have complained. He said, this is an unfinished war. Osama bin Laden has said that for Islam, India, Hindus are an unfinished war. We have to fight the Hindus and the Jews for different reasons. Hindus because we never were able to subdue them. They are very clear, we are not clear. That is the problem. So, therefore I say that we must know our correct history. We are an ancient country, we have been fighters, we have always rewarded courage. Today we lack courage, please learn from the past. Rana Pratap, did he lead you to victory? No. He was eating ghas ki roti in the forest. His cousin brother Raja Man Singh came to him and said, Papa, what are you doing? This is not the life of a king. All you have to do, he said, is say, Akbar is the Badshah of India, you will get your palace back, you will get everything back. No, I don't want. I will not call him Badshah of India. So he said, you're going to spend all your life like this, people will laugh at you. No, he said, future generation mothers will name their sons after me, on your name they will all spit. That's enough for me, I don't want to go. And that is the truth today. Rani Jhansi did not lead you to victory. Her courage, Rani Chennamma of Karnataka, she did not lead you victory, but her courage, Kattaboman in Tamil Nadu, Subhash Chandra Bose, the recent example, still a hero, he did not lead you to victory. So victory is desirable. Shivaji gave us victory. Vijayanagaram gave us a victory. Vijayanagaram ruled India for 300 years, covered more area than Akbar. But in our history books, one paragraph, there was a southern kingdom called Vijayanagaram. But for Mughals, one chapter. This is all deliberate history. We got to change all that. No Aryan Dravidian, no new nation, we are an ancient nation. We are one people, all DNA same. Language is connected through Sanskrit. And we have been fighters, and we'll fight again. So that correct interpretation of history, we are all attempting. I mean, unless you get a Hindu government, you cannot correct the history books in the schools. So you have to tell our children, this is the correct history, but in the exam you do whatever the teacher teaches you. You see, because you can't put them out. And unless you have a government, you can't make that change. So therefore, I'm very happy to see in the United States the team of Rajiv Malhotra and others. They have brought out a book called Invading the Sacred or something.
Right. That's right.
And tomorrow in Hindu Sangathan Divas in Queens, in the Ganesh temple, I'm going to release it also in the function there. So this kind of thing is being done. We should put it together. We should have classes in the evening. The mandirs should hold classes. The true history of India. We were always united. Chanakya had said long years ago, first of all we got all our dates wrong because the Englishman has made it completely mess. He says Buddha got Nirvana in 483 BC. No, he got in 1820 BC. And Ramayana is not 1500 BC, it is more than 10,000 years ago. So the chronology is all different. So when Chanakya went to the west, from Bihar, he was in particular in Rajgraha. From Rajgraha he went with the army to fight the Greeks. So that time, people asked him that why he has to go all the way there to fight. He said, we are all Janapadas, separate Janapadas. But when the country is in difficulty, then we are all one, and there is a concept called Chakravarti, everybody has to unite with that. Mahabharata, Lord Krishna appealed to all the kings of India. So did Duryodhana. Of course, majority went with Duryodhana. Only 13 kings came with Krishna. But Krishna was there, so that was enough. So victory was but entire country participated. 3 battles of Panipat, all Indian kings participated. Why? Because Panipat was considered frontier. Nobody should be allowed to cross beyond Panipat. So concept of unity was there, it's ancient unity, and that is the key thing that we have to realize and teach our people. The next thing which you should have is the concept of retaliation. When you are attacked, you will reply. So the Kashmiri Pandit asked me, what will you do for the Kashmiri Pandits? I said, they have driven you away. I don't want you to go there back and get butchered. But I have 1 crore ex-servicemen in India. I will ask 1 million of them, here is 5 lakh rupees each. Please take your weapons and go to Kashmir and live there. They will be happy to do it. Change the composition. You send out 500,000, I will send 1 million back. You train the terrorists in camps there, I will bomb it. Don't hesitate. You send infidel Muslims to come and live in India from Bangladesh, then you say, The whole concept of partition was that those Muslims who didn't want to live in India should be given separate territory. If they are coming back to India, then in proportion to that you must cut your territory and give it to us. Otherwise we should annex it ourselves. Bangladesh, from Sylhet to Khulna we should send the army across to Assam. And all the northern portion we should chop off, make it part of India. That kind of retaliation. If they bomb our temples, you warn them, next time you throw a bomb on any one of our temples, we'll send the army and take over Kashi Vishwanath. Because Kashi Vishwanath is small, big masjid which Aurangzeb deliberately built by destroying the temple. We'll take it over and blow up the masjid and build a temple. Only if they again do that. And we have to tell our people also. That kind of retaliation is the only way you can dissuade terrorists. You cannot dissuade terrorists by reason. You have to retaliate.
Telling them, you have to be as good as your word. You tell them,
yeah.
you have to take it through.
I did. When I was a minister, I'll give you an example. When I was a minister in 91, Chandrasekhar was Prime Minister. We took over from VP Singh government. VP Singh government's that minister, Mufti Saeed's daughter was kidnapped and they released 5 terrorists. Rubaya. The same thing happened when we were in power next after that. And Saifuddin Soz, who is now Water Resource Minister, his daughter was kidnapped. Huh? No, the Saifuddin Soz was kidnapped. No, nobody was released. You check, I was minister, I know it. And I know how we did it. They asked for, we may have somebody who is a cancer patient or somebody, those are normal release, but in exchange we did not release anybody. And I know it because Chandrasekhar asked me to look into it. And JKLF had kidnapped her. I think there was a propaganda too was released, but I checked with Saifuddin Soz. You should check with him. He told me, no, we did not release it. He is now Water Resource Minister. 5. But anyway, they got 5 released. We did not allow. And how did we? The girl was also released. We found out that the people who did it was JKLF and their office bearers were exiles in London. So we took the Israeli help and visited those people there and said, if this girl is not released, you will be killed here. And the Israeli says, don't think the British police will protect you because we run Britain, not Englishmen. And they run your New Jersey also, somebody was telling me just now.
Actually, in India too, I think we should take the help of Israel.
Yes, of course. No question.
Everything is taken, they are not good for us.
Well, we made them good, no, they were good for that occasion. Yeah, but we have to learn technology from others.
But if we allow outsiders to interfere in
no, we did not. This is called country to country collaboration. It is fun. No, well, how are they interfering in India? I took them to London.
That's true, but to ask them to...
No, I don't think she meant in the sense that they were to tutor us.
To fight terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir,
yeah.
I think Israelis are the only...
No, we Israelis, we can...
Why can't you rely on yourself?
No. I will modify your statement by saying we can learn from Israeli experience.
We can take their help.
Why would you need their help?
Yes.
What is it? They don't know who is who, they don't know our language. How can they fit into India?
No, because...
Well, that is your point of view, and I think...
Excuse me, can we have these questions and discussions after the lecture?
Yeah, right. See,
we have a lot of time.
Now,
please open for us.
Anyway, this threat worked, and the girl was put on an auto rickshaw and dropped in the Saifuddin Soz's house. It can be done, it has to be done. Sometimes you have to even make a sacrifice. Take for example what happened in Kandahar. We released Muhammad Azhar, Umar Sheikh and some Jingan or somebody like that. They all founded their own terrorist organization, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Taiba, and some Jingane Islam or something. And they have killed 3,000 Indians since then. So same 159 passengers did it. I'm not saying you should sacrifice those 159 passengers. But you could have certain retaliation. You have tactical nuclear weapons today. You could have said, if our passengers are harmed, we shall drop a tactical nuclear weapon in Osama bin's camp, which is just 50 kilometers from Kandahar at that time. That time Osama was not hiding. He was running a full-fledged camp. So we need that kind of retaliation.
Resolve.
And resolve of a leader will only come when their people are resolved. You cannot create a leader out of nothing.
Right.
You know.
That's a very good point.
Tomorrow, and that's my final point, tomorrow you decide not 83%, but only 40% of the 83%, that we will vote as Hindus for a strong leader who will defend the Hindus. And the word gets around, and one way it can get around is Swami Dayananda Saraswati has formed an Acharya Sabha, and all the sadhus should go. They should go to the villages, people believe them also, and say this election is Mahabharat, so you please vote for this agenda. And whichever party, the candidate says that I believe in this agenda, you vote for him. If there are two candidates saying we believe in this agenda, vote for the better candidate. But vote for them, and the sadhus should say, we will ensure that these politicians after getting elected remain true to their promises. This possibility is, that's why I told Dayananda Saraswati ji that what we need today is Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and Acharya Sabha. We need all these three sabhas. They should work in unison. And if you decide tomorrow that everybody will fall in line. In Himachal, there was tremendous conversion activity going on. And all the sadhus got into action. So Veer Bhadra Singh said, I cannot remain Chief Minister if this continues. So he himself enacted a law banning conversion in Himachal. He's a Congress Chief Minister. And he said, I cannot consult Sonia Gandhi on this matter because I have to survive in this state. And he's today the only state which has passed a conversion law. Poor Vasundhara passed it, but this Patil, who was governor, she refused to sign it. So it's still not an act. So if that happens, if it can see the wave coming, everybody will become a good Hindu. They are today super secular only because the Muslims and Christians vote as a bloc. And the day the Hindu votes as a bloc, then everybody will change. So the mindset is concept of your identity, your language, your knowledge of history, your determination to retaliate if attacked, and you must feel as Hindus. If Kashmiris and Pandits are attacked, Tamils also must feel. If Rama Setu is to be broken, people in Assam should feel that we will stand together, we will make the necessary sacrifice, and we shall retaliate. And finally, we will vote as Hindus. At least one election will get a clear thing. That will set the dynamics and change the course of history. This is what I want to say. Thank you very much.